Back to the Jackson State thing. You mentioned top 10 all time, not all time, recruit in recent history, this millennium. I think it hasn't been stated enough because people just immediately put it to, oh, that's NIL. Oh, that's NIL. Well, the thing is, maybe that's true. I'm not naive enough to deny that the kid's getting paid something. We all know that he is. But you're telling me that people involved with Jackson State or Deion Sanders were able to pay significantly more than that of Florida State or any other Division I program in the country? If you're telling me money was the only factor, that he couldn't have gotten seven figures from an SEC school, because you're wrong. That sent a message, I think, about more so about Deion Sanders than anything else. About if you take a flyer on him, the kind of player that he would get consistently at whatever school were to do that. Yeah. Because if he can do that at the FCS level, imagine when he's got SEC on his chest or Florida State or whoever. I mean, I grew up on FCS football. I love it. I love it. I cannot fathom an FCS school signing a kid that good. And it's not just money. You can't convince me that it's just money. Because if it was, somebody would have been able to give him more. I guarantee it.
I think this is a fair question to ask, given the era that we're in. And there's some that might say, oh, you're just saying that because he went to Jackson State. I'm not. This is a genuine question. What are the odds that Travis Hunter starts and finishes his college career at Jackson State?
I mean, that you can, to make your point there, you can ask that question just about anybody in the country now with the way the portal is. I mean, you sign a freshman, the odds of him finishing at your school are low right now. They're low. So I would say they're no better than 50-50 for him. You know, that if he goes to Jackson State and shows that he is the kind of player everybody thought he was in the recruiting process, there's going to be massive NIL opportunities that I don't think anybody else can match outside, at Jackson State.
Well,
so we'll see.
The other thing to me has got to be, because Travis Hunter, I mean, to your point, could have gone anywhere in the country. He could have gone to Alabama. He could have gone to Georgia. He could have gone to Notre Dame, to Michigan, to Oregon, to Washington, to Ole Miss, to Arkansas, to Southern Cal. Anywhere in the country he wanted to go, he could have gone. And yet he chose Jackson State. And so, yes, NIL, like in everything, probably is going to play a role in Travis Hunter's college career this season and moving forward. But doesn't it kind of depend on whether or not the actual experience matches the expectation for Travis Hunter? Yeah, we haven't heard a whole lot from him, but he has talked about wanting to do something different, about wanting to play at an HBCU. Clearly, he wants to play for Deion Sanders. And if Deion Sanders doesn't stay at Jackson State for the entire time that Travis Hunter is in school, then that probably dramatically changes the odds of whether or not Travis Hunter stays at Jackson State. Like, I can't see a scenario where Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, decides to either has the opportunity to go be a major Division I head coach somewhere or chooses to do something besides continuing to coach. If Deion Sanders leaves Jackson State, it feels unlikely that Travis Hunter hangs around. But if Deion Sanders stays there, it's more likely that Travis Hunter stays. Cornerback, again, out of Sewanee, Georgia. And it was maybe the biggest recruiting coup in the history of recruiting. Is that overstating it?
No, no FCS school has signed a kid like this. Not in the recruiting ranking age. No shot. Nothing like this has ever happened before in the era of recruiting rankings. Has not happened or come anywhere close.
I mean,
dude, you remember the reaction when Ole Miss got? You remember signing day 2013. Before the other two, I'm talking about the first one, the first 5-star that committed to Ole Miss. The reaction Oh my gosh! Wow, I can't believe. I mean, everybody freaked out, right? How is this happening at Ole Miss?
Were you talking about Treadwell or Tunsil?
I believe Tunsil was first, right?
I think it was Laramie Tunsil first, and then you had Treadwell and then Nkemdiche.
But you remember the reaction after the first one. Everybody was like, I can't believe this happened. That's an SEC school that people were saying that about.
Yeah. And, I mean, based on that list we were looking at a second ago where you're looking at the 50 highest-rated recruits of all time, I mean, you could even point to a Dorial Green Beckham going to Missouri. And Missouri was okay, but, I mean, they were not like, that's a national brand. You're like, man, that is a coup.
Well, I mean,